Welcome back, fellow milk drinkers, to yet another Monday Milk Review. My name is Jacob, and today we're going to be looking at one of Oak's flavors that released perhaps maybe 2 months ago. This is the Choc Malt Thickshake. This, of course, is a flavor I've been waiting on for ages to try. I've just had so many new flavors come up that I wanted to look at that it just got put on the back burner for a little while. These ones are available in Woolworths. I think Coles as well, I'm not too sure, but just try your local supermarkets. I've seen them pretty much everywhere at this point. If you're unfamiliar with the Monday Milk Review, this is a weekly series that we look at a new or weird flavored milk. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to like the video, it really helps me out, and if you want to consider subscribing, that would be also super nice of you. We hit 500 just before the new year, so we are entering 2021 with a bunch of passion and energy. But with that all out of the way, let's get into this milk now, shall we? Being one of Oak's Thickshake range, it does tend to usually be a little bit what I would say gluggy. There's just something about fridge temperature thick drinks which don't really do it for me, so I am a little bit worried about that. But the cookies and cream was actually fantastic, so I'm really hopeful that this one gets it right as well, but Oak has had a number of slip-ups in their recent flavors. Do remember to give it a good shake before you open it up, but first, before we get into the glass, we should actually sniff it from the bottle. Okay. I would liken it to maybe a little bit Milo with a more rich chocolate flavor. Imagine if you're mixing Milo, but add the scent from a Cadbury chocolate instead of the Milo's very muted chocolate. You've got that hint and tone of the malt, but there's a way more present chocolate here. Now, keep a close eye on this because it's going to be pretty thick. Yeah, that is incredibly thick. The way that it pours into the other liquid, it doesn't really flow, it just seeps into itself. Let's get into a smell from the glass. Oh, what is that flavor? I know I've smelt that chocolate before somewhere. Is it a Kinder Bueno? I swear I've smelt, Nutella. It's got a way more hazelnut kind of scent of chocolate. It's definitely a little bit different to a Cadbury now. I would liken this far more to perhaps Nutella or something. You've got a hazelnut tone in there. I'm really excited. I like Nutella, to be honest. So let's get into this drink now, shall we? That's not that bad. That's so much better than I would expect it to be. The hazelnut tone feels like it's there, and perhaps I'm just misaligning the flavors and that's meant to be malt, but to me, this feels way more reminiscent of Nutella than it does a Malteser, which is literally choc malt. Now, I did get quite a lot of foam. I forgot what I decided was the nicer word. So there's actually a nice little bit of froth on top, or foam. I don't know what you would call that. Maybe foam is froth just is not an appealing word. Foam. But anyway, it's got a lot of bubbles on top, the very light, airy mixture, which definitely detracts from a lot of the flavor, which is making it a little bit harder to detect right now. This feels like a choc hazelnut to me. Obviously, it's meant to be malt, but it just isn't. It tastes like choc hazelnut. I will say the thickness is actually pretty tolerable. Maybe I've actually grown and I now don't mind the Oak Thickshakes as much. The flavor's really nice. I don't know if this is one of those things that I would down very quickly. It's good, but it doesn't have the same creaminess or richness as a Norco, for instance. With that being said though, it's still got quite a lot of creaminess to it. I kind of finished this glass on accident. I didn't realize I was drinking it that quickly. Finishing the glass almost unwittingly is actually a really clear indicator of how enjoyable of a drink it really is. Perhaps maybe it's just because I was so confused by the flavor that I just lost track of time, but I'd like to say that maybe it's just pretty decent. However, it's not choc malt. I think what I'm going to do is rate this one a 6. It's a pretty solid drink. Do I think this is for everyone? Not really. It's a Choc hazelnut. If you like Nutella, you might actually like it. It's worth giving a go, but it just doesn't feel like Choc Malt to me. That about wraps us up for this week's episode of the Monday Milk Review. Be sure to like if you've enjoyed the video, and why don't you subscribe if you want to keep up to date with all of the newest and weird flavored milks. Thank you for watching this week's episode of the Monday Milk Review. I'll be sure to see you next week in the Monday Milk Review. Bye bye!